It is a cold, wet night on the corner of Trimble and 4th, and the Tigers head into the postseason on a 5-game winning streak. If they want to get win number 6, they're going to have to take it from a team that they're very familiar with, the Lexington Minutemen. Lexington heads into the postseason on a 2-game winning streak, and tonight it is win or go home. It's postseason football here on OH Report. Time now for the Charter NextGen pregame show coming up next.
Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Why not
Podcast.
both? Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Lender, Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 11 of the 2021 high school football season from Arlin Field as the Tigers of Mansfield Senior host the Lexington Minutemen. I am Brian Harter along with Bruce Weirich. It's finally time for the postseason, and you had to know for 10 weeks we had beautiful weather. Mother Nature has finally caught up with us.
Yeah, it's going to get a little wet tonight, Brian, and you know, we're playing at Arlin Field. You got the turf. It's a beautiful night right now. I wish there were a few more people here, but the second season of the football season has started.
It's the Division III Region 10 first-round playoff matchup between the number 4 seed Tigers and the number 13 seed Lexington Minutemen. And now you look at those seedings, and you might think that there's a big disparity between the two teams. Mansfield Senior finishing the season 8-2, Lexington at 4-6. But, and you hear this a lot, but I think this really applies tonight, Lexington is better than their record shows.
And they are at that. You know, the biggest thing I can do right now, Brian, is look back at the last time these two teams played. Senior high only won by 9 points. And in that game, Lexington, they had penalties, they had fumbles, they had interceptions. I look for a clean game tonight and a little bit closer fight for the Tigers.
We're going to go down to the field, and Travis Berardi is standing by with Lexington head coach Taylor Gerhardt.
Here with Lexington head coach Taylor Gerhardt. Coach, back in the playoffs, your first year back. You guys faced Lexington earlier, or faced Mansfield Senior earlier this season. It seemed like you guys got things going in the fourth quarter, almost pulled off the comeback. What offensively can you take from that fourth quarter that you can put into the game tonight?
Well, we have to be disciplined in our assignments, and we settled down a little bit. We had too many penalties. Our mental toughness was not where it needed to be. As far as scheme-wise, we really didn't make too many adjustments. We just settled down and actually executed what we were supposed to, and the kids really relaxed a little and just did their job.
And then coming into the night, Mansfield Senior, they have more of a running game here in the second half of the season. You know, the rain's probably going to be coming down. Run game's going to be more of a factor tonight. What are you going to need to do to not only limit their passing game, but limit their rushing game that they have now in the rain?
Well, I mean, that's a tough one. You know, Coach Bradley's got them clicking on both ends. You know, that quarterback can run the ball too, so we're not just talking about a running back. We've got to make sure that we are sound in our reads and sound in our schemes. Make sure that we tackle soundly, and we've got to make sure we don't have missed assignments on the back end to allow them to have a big explosive play, because this is a team that really builds on that. So as long as we're disciplined and we focus on what we have to do and then executing that, we're going to be fine.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
A lot, Travis. Thanks a lot, Coach. And first of all, it's really nice to see Taylor Gerhardt back on the sidelines at Lexington. He took a couple of years off. He comes back, and in his first season, he leads them back to the playoffs. And playing a team like Mansfield Senior that they're familiar with, I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, and he told me he feels they match up very well with the Tigers.
Well, when you take a look at that game that they already played, 9-point difference. They had Senior High. You know, Senior High jumped out to a big lead, and Lexington fought back, and here they came. They came back and gave the Tigers a run for their money. But the big thing tonight, Brian, hey, if you lose the game tonight, when you go back to your locker room, the shoulder pads go in a pile, the helmets go in a box, your season is over.
Well, and we talked last week when Mansfield Senior played Madison, and we talked to Choky Bradley before that game. And if you remember, last year Madison beat them because he felt that they weren't focused. And I don't think that's going to be a problem tonight, and you're going to hear that as we go back down to the field, and Travis is standing by with the Tiger head coach.
Here with Mansfield Senior head coach Choky Bradley. Choky, second half of the season, you really got the run game going. For the last 5 games, you've gone over 100 yards as a team. How important has it been to get the run game going to balance out this offense?
I think it's very important, you know, to be balanced and you know, not be one-dimensional. So it was definitely a point of emphasis as a staff, you know, as a football program to try to get the run game, you know, up and going.
You guys have faced Lexington already. You know, they had the run game They had a rusher over 100 yards in that game. It's raining tonight. You think they're going to probably go back to that run game. What do you need to do to stop it tonight?
Well, I feel like we just need to execute the game plan and be physical and fast, and we got to be sound tackling. We have to tackle this guy soundly. We got to get a lot of hats to the football, and you know, we got to win the point of attack. We got to win in the trenches.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Travis. I don't know what Coach Bradley had in his cup, but it better be something hot. It's 55 degrees right now. It's going to get colder. It's going to get wetter, and this is going to be great football weather.
It's a great way to start the playoffs. You know, we're here at Arlin Field, the home of the Tigers. You have the turf out there. National anthem, please.
The winner of tonight's game will take on either number 5 seed Padua Franciscan or number 12 seed Cleveland Central Catholic. That game would be played if Mansfield Senior wins. They would host here at Arlin Field next week, no matter who wins that game. So if you're the Tigers, you need to take care of business tonight, and then you want to get back here to Arlin Field next week in Week 12.
Yeah, there's nothing like playing football in your own backyard. Practices are easier. You have the crowd behind you. You have the community behind you, and it's go Tiger time.
The Tigers are 4-0 in home playoff games and 7-10 overall. So that is one stat that really stands out to me. Obviously, they're very comfortable playing here at Arlin Field. As you mentioned, you don't have to travel. But if you're Lexington, it's a little bit different. Yes, it's a road game, but it's a conference team that you play every year. It's a team that you're very familiar with. It's a team that you played a few weeks ago, and even though you lost, Mansfield Senior went into the fourth quarter with a 23-0 lead, and Lexington didn't quit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Coach Taylor, he's got a good coaching staff with him. They took that game film, and they broke it down. They looked at every mistake they had. They talked to the kids about it. And one of the things Senior or Lexington's got to do today is correct the mistakes.
Jairus Choky Bradley in his 12th season as the Tigers head coach, and under his direction, Mansfield Senior has won 81 ball games. And the Tigers have also won 4 OCC championships and made 8 playoff appearances. He has got this program where he wants it to be, and a couple of years ago, they were knocking on the door of a state title.
And once you get the taste, once you know what it's like to make that drive, to make that run, to win those ball games, to be the only football game played that night, the community behind you, you live to die to go back to that.
And talking to Taylor Gerhardt yesterday, he said he has a lot of respect for what Choky Bradley has built here at Mansfield Senior, and he feels that his Minutemen, they're on the verge of building something very special down in Lexington, despite the fact they've only got 4 wins. It's been kind of a strange season for Lexington. They had some injuries. He missed 2 games because of COVID, so it was a really kind of an odd season at Lex. So they're a little bit more confident heading into this Week 11 matchup than a lot of 13 seeds might be.
Yeah, they got it going right now. 51 points last week in a ball game, and it's kickoff. Here we go.
Tigers won the opening coin toss, and they deferred, so Lexington will start with the football. Then they're going to get the opening kickoff off to about the 34-yard line. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Lexington Minutemen, and they are led by Carson Berry, who is having an outstanding season for the Minutemen. Cole Pauley is the quarterback. He is having an outstanding year as well. The offense really runs through them. Carter Newman, one of his favorite targets, and the big tight end, Baden Forup, up front for the Minutemen as well. They will go against a Mansfield Senior defense that has been solid all season long. We'll take a look at those starters after this play. Pauley out of the shotgun on first down. And they will come out and try to run the football. Barry with his first carry up to the 34, the defensive starters for the Tigers. And this is the strength, I think, of this Mansfield Senior team. Myles Bradley leads this group with 97 tackles, 6.5 sacks. Jayante O'Brien, an anchor in that defensive backfield with 5 interceptions. Myles Bradley as a defensive end with 4 picks for the Tigers. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Pauley fakes the handoff. He's going to run it. And he swings it out short yardage as he finds Hudson Moore, the junior tight end, for about a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And I think we're seeing what Lexington wants to do tonight. They want to run the football, force Mansfield Senior to put 8 men in the box to stop them, and then do play action off of that. It's a great game plan. It fits right into what Lexington is built for. See if they can establish something with it.
3rd down and 6 from the Lexington 37. Pauley faked the handoff, but he's not able to get away from Malachi Mays, and the Tigers come up with a sack. And this is what this defense has done all season long as they continue to fly to the football.
Somebody missed an assignment because that young man came through almost scot-free and made a big sack.
So 4th down, and Lexington will punt on their first drive of the ball game. So the Tigers should have very good field position. Myles Bradley back to receive the kick, standing at about the 36-yard line. It's a short kick to the far side of the field, goes out of bounds just over the midfield stripe. Not a good kick at all. Let's take a look at the Tiger offense, and this is a unit that is led by Brock Hill, who is having an outstanding season, 2,300 yards of total offense. Myles Bradley with 6 touchdown receptions, 614 yards, and this offensive line has improved as the season has gone along. And Jokey Bradley told me yesterday he feels they're playing their best football right now heading into the postseason.
And we've seen it. They are right now at the top of their game with Brock Hill at the quarterback.
They'll split 2 receivers to each side, 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Brock Hill with a career-high 4 touchdown passes a week ago in their win over Madison. A short gain up to the 50-yard line. The defensive starters for Lexington, and this is an improved group as well. The defensive backfield led by Corbin Green, their captain. He's got 60 tackles on the season. Matt Dwyer up front, the nose guard, has 8 sacks, and overall they have forced 16 turnovers. So the Lexington defense has its handful tonight, though, against a Tiger offense that can be very explosive. Gain of 4 on first down. 2nd and 6. Hill looks to go to the air. He's flushed out of the pocket. And he has to short hop it to Myles Bradley. Lexington doing a nice job of getting into the offensive backfield.
And if you want to mix things up for Brock Hill, and we've seen this in the past, you want to take him out of his comfort zone. Brock Hill is very comfortable standing back in the pocket and just picking you apart. But if Lexington can put pressure on him, force him out of the pocket, could be a game for him.
3rd down and 6 from the 49-yard line of Lexington. Hill back to throw on 3rd down, swings it out. This one's caught by Bradley. He's got a first down, makes one tackler miss, and down the near sideline he goes. And Bradley shoved out of bounds at the 12-yard line. He picked up a lot of extra yardage after making the catch as he made Caden Eichler miss that first tackle.
And that's one thing you do not want to do is let these receivers from Mansfield Senior catch the ball in the open area and run for it. They are very athletic, they have speed, and they know where that goal line is.
37 yards on the reception by Bradley, and it sets up a 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Now Brock Hill out of the lineup. Avion Gross lines up as the quarterback and gets a couple up to about the 8-yard line before he's tackled by A.J. Young. We saw this last week a few times against Madison.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wildcat. You take your quarterback out, give him a little bit of break. It's a different look for the defense. Now they're into a run mode. They have the speed in the backfield. They're going to run the ball, see if they can get outside this Lexington defense.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Tigers with their first drive of the ball game. Gross again off the left side, tries to bounce to the outside and just gets a couple.
Nice defensive coverage by the Tigers.
A.J. Young comes up for the Minutemen to make the play, forcing a 3rd and 5.
Senior High's trying to run to the boundary, which is the short side of the field. Lexington's putting more men there than they can block, trying to shut them down.
Brock Hill now comes back in. Avion Gross will come out. So Hill to the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Hill's going to run it. And Lexington's defense does a nice job of closing the hole quickly, and it's going to force a 4th down and a decision for Choky Bradley here with 8:53 to go in the opening quarter.
And this is a great defensive stand by the Lexington Minutemen. Great defensive stand.
It's 4th and 3, and the Tiger offense stays on the field. Choky Bradley, a lot of confidence in the Tigers, especially in the red zone. Hill looks, lost it right side to Bradley, touchdown Tigers. Finds Myles Bradley in the end zone for his 2nd reception of the ball game, and the Tigers on top 6-0 as Mansfield Senior converts on 4th down.
And we've seen that same play over and over. They go one-on-one with the Lexington secondary. Quarterback just throws it up in the air, and down they come for a touchdown.
Myles Bradley now with a team-high 7 touchdown receptions on the season. And for Brock Hill, it's touchdown pass number 16, and his magic senior season continues. He threw 4 touchdown passes a week ago, against Madison, ran for another touchdown. And I asked Choky Bradley about the difference. We saw Mansfield Senior early and Brock Hill and his confidence level from early in the season until now, and he basically said he did a good job early in the season kind of managing the game, didn't make any mistakes, but then they as a coaching staff started doing some things to get him more involved with some of his other skills, mainly running the football. And he leads this team in rushing, and then as the season has gone on, he has taken a lot more responsibility. He's making a lot more of the bigger throws.
And in our last game here, he was our MVP, and we talked to him. And, Brian, the biggest thing that impressed me was he didn't take credit for everything. He passed it to the coaching staff. He passed the credit to his offensive line. He said the maturity of his offensive line has helped him. He's just an all-round athlete.
Well, and that's something else that Bradley told me yesterday was that offensive line, which early in the season had some question marks, they have developed and they're playing their best football right now. Sean Putt to kick off as the Tigers now with a 7-0 lead, and Lexington will get it back here with about 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they're going to get some nice return yardage up to the 47-yard line thanks to Jordan Byrice.
Senior High is kicking the ball short. they might be afraid of the backs for Lexington with their speed, trying to mix things up. But Lexington has great field position. They need to establish something here and get a couple first downs, get their run game going.
Now, when you're a team like Lexington that likes to run the ball, you can't fall behind. So they need to really do something on this drive and try to get some points on the board here in the first quarter.
Jump to the unbalance.
They stay on the ground, and again, no gain as that play was blown up by Ricky Mills.
And we saw so much from Ricky last ball game. He was all over the field. Lexington jumped to an unbalanced formation. That means they put both tackles on the same side, tried to overload a side. Senior High caught him from the backside.
Carson Berry with 1,200 yards rushing on the season. So far in this game, 2 carries, no yards.
Credit that defense.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Here's Berry again. Now he's got a hole on the right side, gets across midfield down to the 48-yard line.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Brian, I love it when offenses pull people. They pulled their backside guard and tackle, opened up a hole, and off they went. Look at that.
That's a nice hole. I think even I could have run through that hole.
Great job by that offensive line. The first guy pulling kicks out the guy. Next one leads through, and Berry has daylight to run to.
Makes it a more manageable 3rd down and 2. Again, Berry to the outside. He's got a first down. He's to the 40. Still on his feet down the far sideline. He's out of bounds at the 20. And don't look now. Lexington knocking on the door as they have a 1st and 10 inside the Tiger 20-yard line.
Look like the Lexington Minutemen have found a weakness. They're running to that left or right side of their offense, and they're getting good yardage. Again, I love it when they pull people.
1st and 10 at the 16 after this nice carry by Carson Berry, and he's starting to heat up a little bit. 4 carries, 40 yards.
And the young man's got speed. Got some speed out there.
Berry up the middle, and he gets a couple as he is wrapped up by Myles Bradley.
Lexington is flip-flopping their offensive line. They're trying to get an overload situation. They'll take a tackle or a guard, pull them to the other side. They have more offensive linemen than the senior high has a defensive player. And with a back like Berry, all you need is a little seam, and he's going to gain yards for you.
There's a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to go against Lexington.
And this is one thing Taylor Gerhardt talked about before the game. Big penalties. We can't afford to have penalties that'll stop our drives.
That was an illegal block. Well, they called that against the Tigers. So a break for Lexington. And the ball is going to be moved inside the 10 to the 7. It'll be 1st and about 1. So it's a half the distance penalty, and Lexington with a golden opportunity here with 6:23 to go in the opening quarter.
That'll be 1st and 1 for Lexington.
Berry off right tackle into the end zone for a touchdown for Lexington. So from 7 yards out, Carson Berry finds the end zone, and Lexington with an opportunity to tie it up.
And we've talked all year about how tough this Tiger defense is against everybody. And I'll tell you, Brian, Lexington kind of chopped them up that series.
24 touchdowns on the season for Carson Berry. Somebody forgot to tell Lexington they're a 13 seed. They marched right down the field after giving up the touchdown to Mansfield Senior. Now there's a flag on the extra point as A.J. Young, they're going to call a penalty against Mansfield Senior.
That's going to move the ball a little bit closer. Does Coach Gerhardt still kick for one or go for two?
Offsides, Mansfield Senior.
It's an offsides penalty against the Tygers. So it looks like, well, let's see. What are they going to do? They're going to kick it again. They waved it dead, so the first point didn't count. So A.J. Young will try it again. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 6:05 to go in the first quarter, the Tigers and the Minutemen are tied at 7.
And, Brian, what a drive by Lexington. And the thing I like about it, back in my coaching days, we used to pull people right and left, and that's what Lexington is doing. They're pulling their backside guard, pulling the backside tackle. The guard kicks out. The tackle leads up through the hole, and it doesn't take much for Carson Berry to break one open.
The Tigers defeated Lexington 23-14 back in Week 6. Mansfield Senior rushed for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns on 34 carries as a team. And the Tigers in that game took a 23-0 lead into the fourth quarter and held off a Lexington rally in that final period to get the win. Tonight, Lexington doesn't have to wait till the fourth quarter. And in that first game, Chokey Bradley told me he felt that Lexington came out of the locker room at halftime with a lot more intensity, and he felt that his Tigers just didn't match that.
You take that fourth quarter of the senior high game, and from that point on, Lexington has kept getting better and better and better. And they're putting points on the board. They're healthy again. Everybody's back. They're having great practices, and it just showed. We just saw a tremendous drive by the Minutemen.
And that win by the Tigers, that was the start of their winning streak as they head down the stretch of the regular season. So we have got a good one here tonight at Arlin Field. We are tied at 7. Tigers with a return by Avion Bradley Avion Gross, gets up to the 45-yard line, and the Tigers will start with pretty good field position.
Both teams seem to be afraid to kick to the deep receivers, so they're kicking it short. And when you give a team like Senior High the ball at the 30 and they get a 10-yard gain, they're at the 40-yard line, and their offense is geared for that type of a short field.
Brock Hill at the quarterback spot. Avion Gross lining up as a receiver on the far side. Myles Bradley comes wide to the right. So they've got single coverage on the near side.
Man-to-man coverage, nobody deep. Everybody's matching up.
Brock Hill's going to keep it. And this is what makes Brock Hill dangerous, his ability to run the football as he gets 5 yards on first down up to midfield.
That is a defensive coordinator's nightmare. If you have a quarterback that can run the ball, you can stop everything else, but a quarterback can go anywhere he wants on that field, and it causes a nightmare.
Leads the Tigers in rushing coming into tonight with 577 yards on the ground. He's also had 10 rushing touchdowns on the season, so he's able to find the end zone when they get close, and that just creates a lot of matchup problems in the red zone. Hill with some time, looks over the middle, has the receiver just picked off at the 25-yard line. Corbin Green with the interception, and Brock Hill with a rare mistake turns the ball over.
Looked like he threw the ball a little bit short. It hung up in the air. The receiver was open.
Only the 5th interception of the season for Brock Hill. And Corbin Green comes up with the turnover, and Lexington now with an opportunity to take the lead.
And we just saw a contrast in offenses. Senior high, a big play. Lexington, nickel and dime it, worked their way down the field.
Interception number 2 on the season for Corbin Green. And there's Barry. Bouncing to the outside. He's got some running room, and he's close to a first down at the 38-yard line.
And again, Lexington pulling linemen. They're putting more blockers at the point of attack than senior high can block or they can defend. And here they come again.
You mentioned it earlier. You see the speed that Barry has as he bounces to the outside. And he's just forced out of bounds by Jayante O'Brien, the sophomore. They're going to give him first down yardage to the 39-yard line. So Barry's starting to heat up. 7 carries, 59 yards, and the only touchdown of the game so far for Lexington. Why not? Back to Barry. This time he runs into an orange wall at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, that's tough to run against this defense head on. They are so quick, and they can get to the ball, get to the blockers quick. And Lexington, they do a great job of pulling the people. Look for them to go back to that with a little play action.
Gave him a short gain of about a half yard. We'll still call it 2nd and 10. Back again to the right side. Another hole that is quickly closed by the Tigers. He gets about 3 yards up to the 40, just over the 43-yard line.
And again, you saw it. Number 66, the guard and the tackle are pulling. They kick out with the first person. The second one leads through. They're just trying to put more blockers at the point of attack than senior high has defenses.
Leo Hess up from his linebacker spot to make the play. 3rd and 6 from the Lexington 43. Jet sweep to the near side and some room up to the 49-yard line. And this is going to be close to a first down as Carter Newman, the sophomore, and they're going to move the chains, and it's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Minutemen.
And this is one of the things Lexington wants to do. As long as their offense is on that field and they have the ball, it's tough for senior high to score.
The rain has started to fall here at Arlin Field as a fine mist is just blowing to the west. So it is 1st and 10. And Lexington trying to take the lead here in the first quarter. Pauly with a nice fake. And that time he felt the pressure, and he delivered that a little quicker than he wanted to. Ricky Mills with the pursuit.
Good coverage by the Tigers. And with the rain coming down, we take a look at it. And who does the rain benefit? Is it better for a Lexington running attack or senior high passing attack?
I would think it would favor a team that runs the football as long as they can take care of the ball. Mansfield Senior likes to throw.
Lexington's got himself in a hole, 2nd and long. Their offense is very hard to convert on long downs.
Pauly on 2nd and 10. Barry jumps for a couple down to the 48-yard line.
I'll tell you what, number 32 for the Tiger defense, I think I would run away from him because that young man is all over the backfield.
Myles Bradley makes the tackle. 3rd down and 7.
And this is a tough call for the Tigers or for Lexington. They are a run, play-action team. What do you do on a 3rd and long situation?
Well, they have done a good job of running to that right side, pulling offensive linemen from the left. So do they try to do that here? No, they're going to go back and throw. They try to set up a screen. And the Tigers are ready for it. It was caught by Barry. But Myles Bradley is there to.
Yeah, Senior High did a great job of recognizing it. Linebackers flew to it. And Senior High just has too much backfield speed to try and do something like that. And they were able to attack the ball and keep them for a short gain.
Jokey Bradley told me they were prepared for that. He said Lexington likes to use a lot of screens, and that time the Tigers read it perfectly. And it's 4th down in a punting situation for the Minutemen with 1:22 to go in the first quarter. Kick angle to the far side of the field. It's going to take a Lexington roll, and it's going to go into the end zone. So it will set up a touchback at the 20-yard line. So Lexington with a good job of ball control, but they're unable to get any points as we now have 1:11 to go in the first quarter, and we're still tied at 7.
Yeah, Lexington, as long as they can keep everything a rundown, like 3rd and short, 2nd down and 4, they have an offense that can accomplish something. When they get in situations like 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, now they get themselves in trouble, and they have trouble throwing the ball down for a first down.
Ball resting at the 20-yard line. So Brock Hill and company back at the line of scrimmage. They will try to atone for the turnover on their last possession. Tigers stay on the ground, and Lexington read it perfectly, almost like they were in the huddle. And a no gain by Jameer Petty, the sophomore. We saw him last week against Madison, and he is very quick, gives them another option out of the backfield. Bradley told me that at the beginning of the season he was injured. He had a high ankle sprain, and he was a pleasant surprise as they've headed down the stretch of the regular season, and they're going to see a lot more of him in the postseason. Brock Hill swings it out near side. And Amar Davis, another sophomore, is going to be some extracurricular activity in front of the Tiger bench.
Flag on the play.
And this might get added on to the end of the play as
it could go either way, I think. Little pushing on the sidelines, out of bounds. Again, Senior High catches the ball in space. They're going to make you pay for it.
Personal foul called against Lexington. So that will tack 15 yards onto the end of the play and a first down for the Tigers.
And this is one of the things Coach Taylor talked about. 15-yard penalties hurt the Minutemen in their first game with Senior High. And I hope this is not an omen of what to expect the rest of the way.
Ball now at the Tiger 49-yard line. And they'll have a 1st and 10 with 29 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter. Trips to the left side of the formation. Bradley, the lone receiver, wide to the right out of your picture. Hill back to throw. And he feels the pressure, and he's dumped at the 44-yard line.
Good.
And that time he's unable to get away from Matthew Dwyer.
One of the things Lexington is doing tonight, if you'll notice, when they line up defensively, they have everybody, all 11 players, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. They're going man-to-man. They're getting in your face saying go for it, and they're chasing the quarterback down with a pass rush.
That's the end of the first quarter. We are tied at 7 as we head to the second. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lender, Craftsman, Dog Dad. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Why not
Podcast.
Pigskin?
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
7-7 as we head to the second quarter. The Tigers with the football. Bradley with another reception. And he's got first down yardage down to the 33-yard line. And right away, Brock Hill goes back to the air, and the Tigers in business again as they look to regain the lead here in the second quarter.
Nice pass. Brock was under a little bit of pressure, but if these receivers catch it in space, watch out.
The rain has stopped. Trips again to the right side. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. They go back to the ground. Petty is going to be spun down in the middle of the line of scrimmage. Tonight's the 43rd meeting between Mansfield Senior and Lexington. The Tigers hold a 28-14 edge in a series that started back in 1916. Now, this is kind of strange. After that initial meeting in 1916, it was a 35-0 win by the Tigers. The two schools would not meet again until 1981. And they've played every year since then. So they started the series a long time ago and then, for some reason, thought it was a bad idea. Now the reception out to the far side. Amar Davis has first down yardage inside the 20.
And again, Senior High is doing what they do very well. They're going to throw it to a receiver in the open area, and he's going to use his speed and athletic ability to get yards after the catch.
Amar Davis with his third reception. Brock Hill was 6 of 8, 3 to Bradley, 3 to Amar Davis. First and 10 from the Lexington 20. Brock Hill feels the pressure, kicks it out, caught by Bradley, breaks one tackle, but he's forced out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Myles Bradley with some tough yardage after the catch.
One thing that Lexington's doing, you don't see a lot of teams doing. They're going man-to-man with them. A lot of schools will play a zone against Senior High because of Senior High speed. Coach Taylor said, I think we can match up with them. We're not afraid of them. We're going to go man-to-man with them.
Taylor Gerhardt says he feels they match up very well with these Tigers, so he was not shying away from the idea of playing man. 2nd and 1 from the 11. They'll stay on the ground, and Lexington's defense is ready. Petty with nowhere to go, and he doesn't get the first down.
And this is one thing we've questioned the Tiger offense all year, Brian. Can they drive the ball down somebody's throat? Can they do it the hard way, 5 yards at a time? We've seen them throw the ball, go 20-yard touchdowns. Can they drive it down somebody's throat?
Ricky Mills in as a fullback. 3rd down and 1 from the 11. Now they'll shift Mills over to the right side. And Brockhill's going to run. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he has stood up at about the 7. So a designed run for Brockhill, and the Tigers have a 1st and goal.
Nice job by the Lexington defense, keeping it to a 3-yard gain. They're making the Tigers earn it. If the Tigers are able to score, they can come back and say, well, we earned that one.
1st and goal from the 8. A power formation as Brockhill comes up under center. He'll stay on the ground. Ricky Mills. And immediately was wrapped up by Leighton Nosa. And he'll get about 3 to the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Lexington defense in the red zone, playing very well right now. Senior High's got to earn every yard they go for down here.
Mills with the fake. Looks into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. And again, Myles Bradley with his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. A perfect play fake by Brockhill.
Yeah, you line up in the power. You've been running the ball. Next thing you know, you bootleg out. You look for the deep receiver in the end zone. If he's covered, you throw it short. Brockhill's a good quarterback at picking out the open receiver. Touchdown.
Tigers now looking to go back up by 7 as Putt on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Tigers back on top by 7, and they did what they do well. You talked about it during the drive. They get the guys out in space, and I say guys, I'm talking about the receivers. And then they get close to the end zone, and they ran the ball enough to make you think about it. And then Brockhill executes a perfect fake.
Yeah, they call that the bootleg. They fake the ball to the left side. He reverses out. You have 2 receivers open in the one up the flat zone, 1 deep in the corner. And Brockhill is a very good quarterback at finding the open receiver.
Taking a look there at the fan zone, Rochelle Messner is watching on the live video. Melissa Hunter as well, rooting for the Tigers.
This is a very important drive for the Tigers. As you stated earlier, Brian, Lexington does not have an offense that can come from behind. So you want to try and match the scores with the Tigers. This is a very important drive for the Lexington Minutemen.
Well, and they were able to do that the first time Mansfield Senior scored. Lexington marched right down the field. Carson Berry was a big part of that. 10 carries, 66 yards here in the first half. And let's see what Lexington is able to do now as they have to play from behind again. And they're going to get good return yardage as Jordan Byrice gets up across the 40.
You do not want to force yourself to have to punt here and give the ball back to this Tiger offense without getting any points. Because if the Tigers get the ball and they go down and score, you're falling behind by 2 scores, and you can't afford that. The Lexington Minutemen need to put points on the board this drive.
There's Brockhill, the Tiger quarterback, on the sideline. I don't know if he's having a pad issue or what, but he's got his shoulder pads, or he's got some kind of a, like a flak jacket or something. But Barry, that time didn't do any movement across the line of scrimmage, and he gave the Tigers time to close in.
Senior High is a very good coaching defensive staff, and they've kind of made a couple adjustments to that counter that Lexington ran so well on their touchdown drive. Look for a play-action pass here. Senior High has got to move the ball closer to the first down marker. They have to have a 3rd and short.
Barry got a yard. They'll call it 2nd and 9. Pauly with a play fake. And he tries to reverse his field, and he's going to lose yardage. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So Pauly with nowhere to go, and he is slung to the turf by Elias Owens.
That play was designed to go to the wide side of the field. The Tiger defense forced him back. Now Lexington's in a 3rd and long situation, and this plays into the hands of the Tiger defense.
The thing that impresses me about this defense, Coach, is that, as Shoki Bradley calls it, it's a collective effort. They don't have what you would call a defensive stud, defensive lineman. They're solid across the board, and they have got guys all over the field that can make plays.
Watch this front tee off now. They know it's 3rd and long. They know Lexington's got to throw the ball. They're going to tee off and make life miserable for the quarterback.
Taylor Gerhardt's going to elect to take a timeout with 7:24 to go in the first half. It's Halloween weekend here in North Central Ohio. Brian Harter and Bruce Weirich here at Arlin Field, and we have got a good one. 14-7, the Tigers on top. 7:24 to go in the second quarter. The winner of tonight's game will take on the Padua Franciscan Cleveland Central Catholic winner. That game will be played next Friday night. Should the Tigers win, it would be played here at Arlin Field. If Lexington wins, Lexington likely would travel, being a 13 seed. Franciscan is a number 5 seed. Cleveland Central Catholic is a 12 seed. So if Lexington would win tonight, they would travel. Should the Tigers win, they will stay here in Week 12.
We got a 3rd down and 15, and this is just what Lexington can't afford to do. They can't get themselves in 3rd and long, 2nd and long situations. This Tiger defense just eats up these downs. They love long distance.
3rd and 15 from the 37. Pauly gets some time, and he's forced to throw it away. And that time, you talked about it, it was the pressure up front, and Pauly had nowhere to go as the secondary did its job, and Lexington forced a punt.
Yeah, that's how you earn your keep in the NFL. When you have a passing situation, those down linemen know it, and here they come. It's very difficult to block the senior high front when they're on a pass rush.
So A.J. Young will kick it from inside the 25-yard line. And Myles Bradley and Amar Davis back to receive, so the Tigers should be able to establish pretty good field position after this kick. Young's kick is angled toward Amar Davis from the 36-yard line. Davis up across the 40 to the 43, so that's where Brock Hill and the Tiger offense will come back out onto the field. Brock Hill, 8 of 10 so far, 108 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And this is a scary series for Lexington. They do not want to fall behind 2 touchdowns to Mansfield Senior. And this is where Brock Hill shines the most. There's 7 minutes to go. They know if they score, they can start driving that nail in a little bit deeper. This is where the young man makes his money.
Ricky Mills, the lone running back, 2 receivers stacked to each side. Tigers looking to take a 2-touchdown lead here in the second quarter. They swing it out to Avion Gross. And he's twisted out of bounds at about the 49-yard line.
Senior High's just trying to get the ball to their best receivers, their quick receivers in the open space, and let them get yards after the catch.
Gross was wrapped up by Caden Eichler. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. There's a good look at Avion Gross. Going to play collegiately at Charlotte next year. Hill with some time, fires over the middle, and this one's incomplete. A little bit of pressure applied to Hill, and
Brock got rattled that time. Lexington put a good rush on him. He got hit a little bit.
Eichler back on coverage, and it's now a 3rd down and 4.
Good coverage by Lexington that time. Had the deep routes covered.
Trips now to the right. And Bradley, the lone receiver on the near side. Brock Hill swings it out. It's picked off. The second turnover of the first half. And Caden Eichler read it perfectly and dove into the passing lane.
There was a miscommunication by the quarterback and the receiver. The receiver was going deep. Brock thought he was going to hook up at 5 yards. Lexington picks it off. Change of momentum.
Eichler with his 3rd pick of the season, and Lexington with a chance to tie it here with 6:42 to go before halftime.
Big defensive play by Lex.
Well,
Big
Lexington's
time.
defense is keeping them in this game right now. Barry to the left side, has some running room, and he's tripped up after getting a 1st down across the 45-yard line.
And this is almost exactly what they did after the last interception. The offense comes alive, and they have a classic Lexington drive.
It's 1st and 10 at the Tiger 43-yard line.
Tiger defense a little flat on that first play. Little out of whack right now, trying to get lined up.
Lex stays on the ground. That's Byrice. And he's inside the 40, and a nice gain on 1st down as Byrice gets a call, and he gets 7 yards, setting up a 2nd and 3.
It's kind of funny, but the one touchdown drive they had, Lexington ran to the right. They score a touchdown. Senior High makes the adjustment. Now Lexington's running to the left and gaining big yards.
Byrice is still in the backfield. They give it to him. He's got a 1st down inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
And that's the best play of the night for Lexington. Counter.
Myles Bradley makes the tackle, but a 1st down, and the chains move. Carson Berry back out on the field.
I love that play. You pulled number 60, the backside guard. He kicks out the end man, and the big tackle leads your ball carrier through the line.
Byrice with a couple big carries. And now Berry back in with 5:40 to go before halftime. They go back to Berry. This time he is grabbed in the backfield right after he took the handoff. What a play by Malachi Mays.
Missed assignment somewhere on that offensive line. Anytime a defensive lineman can come through the line like that, somebody missed a block.
Samir Phillips in on the play as well. 2nd down and 14.
And now Lexington's getting out of their comfort zone. They are in a passing situation here. Play action pass or screen. Look for a play action pass or screen.
Samir Phillips, a good-looking freshman on this defense for the Tigers. Berry has some running room, gets back across the original line of scrimmage and gets 3 yards beyond that. Myles Bradley makes the tackle. But it's a 3rd and long, and Lexington has not done well in these situations here in the first half.
Now Taylor Gerhard has something on his side. He actually has 2 downs to get the 1st down. It's not like he's got to punt or kick a field goal. He has 2 downs to get 9 yards.
3rd and 9 from the Tiger 27. Two receivers come wide to the near side. Carson Berry, the lone running back, and they're going to look to throw. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. So again, the Tiger defense comes up with a play, forcing a 4th and long, and it looked like the tip was by Elias Owens.
Yeah, you see that quarterback take the ball back by his helmet. You jump and put both hands up in the air, and Senior High got a tip out of it. And now Lexington's in a 4th down situation. Do or die.
And a timeout is going to be taken again by Lexington. They want to make this is an important play for the Minutemen.
And what do? You're in a situation where it's 4th and 9. You're behind by 7. Do you go for the touchdown or you just go for the first down?
4 minutes, 3 seconds to go. And Lexington trailing by 7. They're going to, well, let's see if they do try to convert on 4th and 9 from the 27. The Tigers were 4-6 this year, 2-4 in the OCC, including a 23-14 loss to these Tigers back in Week 6. Their wins were over Ontario in Week 1, Mount Vernon in Week 4, and Lexington ended the regular season with wins over Madison and River Valley. They beat River Valley last week 51-12. Carson Berry ran for 198 yards in that game and scored 5 touchdowns.
That's a season for some backs.
So Lex will try to convert on 4th down. Pauly with a play fake. Looks over the middle. It's going to be caught for a touchdown by Lexington. Carter Newman, the sophomore, and Lexington with a chance to tie it.
And you go for the goal. Great call. A deep post route. And was that a nice pass?
Pauly throws a strike to Carter Newman. Just lays it out there perfectly. And A.J. Young on to try to tie it up with 3:55 to go before halftime.
That may have been the play of the game, Brian.
Low snap, a whistle.
Offsides by the Tigers. Looks like they tried to block it a little bit sooner than they were supposed to. Came across the line.
Newman with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season. I would think you'd still go for the extra point here.
After a play like that, I think so too.
First reception of the game for Newman. Only the 3rd completion for Pauly out of 6 tries, but that was a strike.
That's one of those plays where you tell the quarterback, just throw to the goalposts.
So Young will try it again. Kick is up, and it is good, and we are tied at 3:55. And what a throw by Cole Pauly as he and Newman tie this ball game up at 7. Taylor Gerhardt, all the attention with this offense goes to Carson Berry, and he deserves a lot of that, but he raved about Cole Pauly. And he said that he really is having a nice season, and he's been coached by a guy that has some Tiger ties, Jake Soliday.
Yeah, and that was a great play. And a little play action brings your linebackers up. But basically that's just a quarterback throwing it to a receiver. No matter what happens, you throw it. If it's intercepted, so what? It's 4th down.
In fact, Jake Soliday is not only one of the ties that Lexington has with Mansfield Senior. Taylor Gerhardt was a linebacker coach for 7 years under Stan Jefferson. Greg Nicolai, a former offensive coordinator for the Tigers, and Jake Soliday, of course, played here and coached for Mansfield Senior. And Soliday still teaches at Mansfield Senior.
Yep. Jamie Massey's on their staff right now. He's been around the coaching ranks for a long time.
So A.J. Young's got it teed up, and we are tied at 14 And they want no part. You see a lot of high school teams doing this now. The days of kicking deep are almost over.
Well, with all the injuries that happen on a kickoff and the high impact, you get two athletes going full speed, collisions. The day's coming when the kickoff will be a thing of the past.
There's some of the Tiger faithful up there.
You're starting to see more and more colleges favor the fair catch on the kickoff instead of running it.
Girls basketball coach from the Tigers looking on. So the Tigers will get it 1st and 10 at the 35 with 3:55 to go.
And when Brock Hill's your quarterback, that's a lot of time.
And, knock on wood, there has been very little rain here in the first half, and it has not started again. That's not where I was going. It's just a little chilly, but it is dry.
This Tiger offense can score at any time, so there's a lot of time on the clock for them.
Jameer Petty. They're going to fake it to Petty, and Hill's going to run, gets up to the 40. And he is brought down by Matthew Dwyer. Now they're going to try to eat some of this clock. Mansfield Senior will get the ball to start the third quarter, so they would love nothing more than to eat the final 3:35 of this half, put a touchdown on the board, and head to the intermission up by 7. Again, they fake it to Petty, and Brock Hill runs right into the waiting arms of Jordan Byrice.
And right now they're putting everything on Brock Hill. Let's see if his arm can get him out of this jam right now.
See, this to me is where Mansfield Senior is dangerous. 3rd down and 5. He has got all of these offensive weapons on the perimeter.
And he's got the feet that he can do it himself. He's got the receivers he can throw it to, and he's got a back that can run it. So everything is operational right now.
3rd down and 5. He fakes it, throws it. It's caught by Bradley, and Bradley wrapped up by A.J. Young, but not before Bradley gets another Tiger first down.
Nice slant pass. The slant pass is a very difficult pass to throw for a quarterback. You have the receiver running to you. It's a tough throw, but Brock has made it a living on this pass, and first down.
Bradley with reception number 6 as he approaches 100 yards receiving. He's got 98. And a timeout here with 2:13 to go. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Arlin Field. We have got a good one. We are tied at 14. 2:13 to go before halftime. The winner of this game will play Padua Franciscan or Cleveland Central Catholic next week. Should the Tigers win, that game would be here at Arlin Field. If Lexington wins, they will travel and play a second-round matchup in the Division III Region 10 tournament. And last year, everybody got into the postseason, and it was kind of like basketball, but it really didn't feel like the playoffs. This year, it has a different feel to it.
Yeah, you had to earn the right to get in it. I know when you put 16 teams in, it's a little bit easier to get in. But, hey, this is football. This is what the people want to see. They want to see the people on the field. And right now, we're in a great ball game. And as you stated earlier, Senior High would love nothing more than to eat the clock, score with no time, and they get the ball the second half.
Getting a good look at Sean Putt as he prepares for possibly a go-ahead field goal here in the first half. He's 8 of 10 on the season. His longest is 35 yards. But the Tigers would love to get into the end zone. Hill chased. That time he had to throw it under duress as he was being chased by number 24, Briar Miller.
If there is a weakness in Brock Hill, I think we saw it right there. If you can put pressure on Brock and force him off the pocket, get him off his sweet spot, then he has trouble throwing the ball sometimes. And here he threw it a little bit high. Lexington's got to get him off of that sweet spot, force him out of the pocket.
Leighton Nosa also back in the backfield, giving pursuit, forcing a 2nd down and 10.
Lexington's in man-to-man. Everybody within 5 yards of the ball.
Hill with some time. He steps up, and he's going to run it himself. He's tackled from behind at the 40-yard line as he was brought down by Baden Forup. And it forces a 3rd and long, and the Tigers were able to convert before on 3rd down.
And right now, Chokey's sitting back saying, well, hey, I got 2 downs to get the 1st down. I'm in no rush here. The clock's on my side. I got my 3 timeouts left. I got 2 plays to make a 1st down or get a touchdown. No rush.
There's Chokey Bradley coaching his alma mater. Brock Hill with some room. He's got the 1st down. He's brought down from behind by Cohen Moore, but a fresh set of downs for the Tigers.
When in doubt, let Brock do it for you. Great play, great run, 1st down, moves the chains. Lexington's got to take a timeout, regroup. They do not want the Tigers to score here.
Brock Hill now with 8 carries, 27 yards. 10 of 15 through the air, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Brock Hill is really the guy that runs this offense for the Tigers of Mansfield Senior. He has done it all season long, and he's doing it again tonight.
And we've seen it over